I tell you something. You can do all the procedure with needle as well. Yeah, when you know where the danger zones are and in which level you are injecting. Yeah, but I think that there are some special zones where a needle is more dangerous than a cannula. Most of them are the deep injections in the mid-phase, yeah, where you have the risk of vascular complication. There are some areas around the mouth, yeah, and even here with needle you have a higher level of danger zone. But you can do both, yeah. But the thing is, you have to be well trained in anatomy and to know where the specific danger zones are. I personally, I'm mainly only with cannula. Yeah, so for me personally, it's much safer to use a cannula than needles. Yeah, but in any region, things can happen, and it depends also how you are using a cannula. Even using a cannula can cause problems. Yeah, if you abuse your cannula. So I think it's not the reason. Are there any areas where you should never use a needle? I think this is not the right way. You always should be aware that things can happen, and if they happen, that you recognize that something happened, for it can happen to everybody, even to well-trained people. So it is not something which is only for practitioners who never have known or heard something about anatomy. So it can happen to everybody. The main thing is to know that in this area a problem can happen, and to recognize that if it happens, to recognize the problem. Yeah, in most of cases the doctors think it's only a hematoma, but it is a vascular compromise. In these cases, if you are using hyaluronic acid, yeah, you have the adventure that with hyaluronic acid we have an antidote. And all the other fillers which are not hyaluronic acid have the high risk that you don't have an antidote, and then you can only wait and hope that everything goes well. Normally the osteoporosis in facial injections is not a big problem, but we have some areas and perforations or complications due to osteoporosis are almost nothing, yeah? But you should be careful when you inject with a needle the temporal region, and you should be careful when you are injecting the bone in the mid-phase, for here sometimes the bone is very thin, and if you have an osteoporosis and you are injecting a little bit too fast with the needle, you can perforate and you inject in the sinus, yeah? But I think it's not really a big problem. So what we have to know about hyaluronic acid, of course, you should use hyaluronic acid, and most of the companies now have very smooth products. So we call them low reticulated, with a lower amount of hyaluronic acid, and the doctors should use these special hyaluronic acid products in these areas. But the problem is that you also have to give the right indications. For not every dark circle is an indication to inject. So if you have a pigmentary disorder, it is not recommended to inject. If you have only a dark circle but you don't see a depression or a valley of the tear trough, then it is not an indication. So there are the indication of injecting in the periorbital area is smaller, as most of our customers and the doctors believe.